Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paladins Evie's Winter Classic. My name is Rain Day, and I'm joined by, again, Slick Nick the Ruler, right here. Hi-Rez pretty hair.
Is that what it says?
Yeah. It is, yeah, right there.
Slick
Nick the Ruler. And he's got his long flowing locks. He's ready to commentate for you, and so am I. We've got some great stuff going forward as the finals of Evie's Winter Classic is about to begin. Now, we've got the brackets available to head into, but there's a lot of really good stuff as well. Just remember, giveaways, link in your Twitch account. You get a lot of free stuff. Make sure to enter those. Ask somebody in chat how to make it happen, and we'll tell you in a second. This is where we've been, though, Nick, and it's all led to this.
Team Has No Name versus Moosesports, running back the finals from last week. We are ready to head to the map screen and see where this one will unfold.
And I'm excited to see Frozen Guard for the first time today. That's pretty exciting, actually. I was going to feign excitement for some of the maps we've probably already seen, but this one actually has me. This one has me actually excited. Frozen Guard, a map we have yet to see today, and first picked, no less, by one of the teams. So as we move into the champion draft, we might see some interesting kind of decisions being made. Why would a team first pick Frozen Guard?
Because they're not used to it, straight up. This is something we saw teams starting to use Timber Mill, I think, as more of that kind of that pocket strat where they know how to operate on the map better. And if you're not prepared to play on every map, you know, if you don't have a strategy for and against attack and defending, you know, you could fall apart and you could drop a game almost for free if you're not prepared.
And we've seen also maps have such a big impact. Ice Mines was what was formerly for Bree. Now, I believe, I forgot what their actual name is right now. Help me out with this. What's Febreze' actual name?
Astral Authority.
Astral Authority. And being able to just own that map, Ice Mines. Whenever they picked it, people knew that was their map. And so being great on a specific map can have its dividends. Maybe a Team Has No Name or Moosesports have found that they are great on Frozen Guard, and they want to get that win.
Yeah. So, Evie going to be first picked by Team Has No Name. Moosesports answering back with both frontliners, and they get Drogos here. Team Has No Name getting Cassie and Maldamba pretty early on in the draft. Healers, it's not something we've seen been going particularly early in the draft thus far today.
It's not, but I kind of like it because it just gives you a little bit more damage flexibility, whereas your flexibility is maintained for your healers when you leave them late, and now you can kind of flex on some of those damage options that might counter, you know, really what I think tend to be a lot of the big impact plays, like the Drogos, the Androxus, and a Team Has No Name picking up the Kinessa. That fits right into a pocket strategy for me for Frozen Guard.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but Frozen Guard having some of the longer sight lines, you know, rivaled only by Timber Mill, really. Kinessa is definitely a pick that can come out on this map, and really not something we're surprised to see. What we are surprised to see, though, I feel, is more of the Ruckus. It's kind of like their last chance, right?
Yeah.
This is a pick that does very well with Maldamba, but not oftentimes on its own. So a team with no name going to be having the more interesting comp here. You know, we don't want to rule these guys out. Bonkar on Kinessa, pretty impressive. Leminate here not getting the Kinessa, but he does get his Cassie. Particularly dangerous Cassie, as that Simsiloo will be on Evie, SYER on Ruckus, and Smutney will be rounding them out with Maldamba.
Sorsa will be on the side of Moosesports on the Makiii, Makiii on Drogos, WesTo on Fernando, Waters on Evie, and second on Androxus. And Nick, there's just so many lineup things to talk about here. Bonkar is such a good Kinessa. Leminate, so good at Cassie. And we see Simsiloo on the comfort pick. We see SYER, he's been playing Ruckus a lot today, and so he's feeling very comfortable on that. But you see Waters taking the back seat, letting second carry the team, and Makiii as well, getting off the Shala and the Cassie and going onto the Ying, the support. There's just so many different lineup decisions being made. I love the flexibility by both of these teams as they get into it. A couple of shots traded out between the Evie and the Androxus, and now Simsiloo and Leminate just on a rampage here. Makiii trying, but having no success in getting Ruckus off the point.
As far as I'm concerned, Simsiloo just 2v1 Sorsa in second. He bought so much time for both. He won the fight pretty much by himself. He was distracting Sorsa and second off to the side, picking them apart slowly, using the mobility to its fullest, getting both of those kills, then getting two more, and another one. And another one.
And you see that those other ones come two at a time. Simsiloo with pretty much a double kill there, almost a triple kill it seemed like, hitting two members with his you know, obviously ice launcher and then going back again to follow up on a second and get the actual credit for that kill. And now the Kinessa using these long lines of sights to her advantage, and bonkar being able to just spot out the Ying clones, get rid of those real quick. No healing there. Look at these quick snaps by bonkar. The reaction time is miraculous by this one, and the champion Kinessa, the long-range sniper, is paying dividends right now for a team has no name.
It looked to me on paper like Moosesports just had the better comp in terms of point control, but they really just got picked apart by a team has no name, and they're continuing to do so. Moosesports comp is one that wants to win and win early because they're so heavily dependent on the shields and this healing coming through right now. Leminate cannot be stopped on the Cassie. 3 wreckers already for a team has no name, and 2 cauterizes as well. All of the damage dealt is gonna be from a team has no name right now. Everyone on Moosesports sitting under 10K currently. Leminate about to pass up 20.
And can we just mention how different Waters' performances here, not on the Cassie? Leminate gets a triple kill, leading 20K, and Waters now 3,578 damage on the Ying. Now it's Ying, of course, but I mean, it's just such a different impact that he's having, not even out healing the Maldamba right now. I don't know about decision lineup-wise.
And with these cauterizes coming online, it's only going to be tougher and tougher. 3 wreckers, 2 cauterizes for a team has no name. bonkar already reaching that cauterized 2 mark. 4-0 for him, 4-0 for Leminate, 3-0 for Simsiloo. Ice Storm is available. Moosesports need to play their comp much better this time around, and we'll see if they're able to get it done. Simsiloo.
Great-gasm, boys! Great-gasm, the triple kill, and looking for a quadra. bonkar steals it away. Kinessa, the bounty hunter, needs to get paid, and so she'll get 1 kill for herself. Simsiloo will take 3 to the bank and just continue where they left off. A team has no name. This pocket strategy is bigger than a pocket at this point.
The desolation right now is just so much. They're using these long sight lines to their advantage. The mobility of Cassie, of Evie, the distance being able to be effective with this Kinessa. They're using this map so effectively for their composition. Moosesports looking like they have a great comp, but they're just unable to get it done, unable to make it work.
I mean, Nick, talk about just Kinessa right now. I mean, they're just firing on all cylinders. How hard is it to come up with a strategy against 5 players who are all dominating?
Moosesports don't have anyone to dive this Kinessa. Maybe you could make a case for the Androxus. Drogos used to be able to do it a lot better, but as his mobility has been reined in. bonkar on this Kinessa is being let loose. Headhunter is available. Could elect to pop that one out to looking to close the game here. 3-0. Here comes the Headhunter.
Oh, no way! How was that even possible? Get out of base, dog! Don't step a foot! Because you about to get wrecked.
This is my map, says bonkar.
bonkar playing bonkers.
When he passed Leminate with that last shot, he passed Leminate in damage.
And it's just so incredible to see how strong these players have played on a team has no name, asserting themselves on this first map. Not only in a point advantage, they won 1 point, they won 1 map, but mentality-wise, they made a statement right now, and that is something that is going to echo in their opponent's minds. 7 minutes and 49 seconds, and I believe, from what I'm told, this timer includes picks and bans, so that is even less. That might be a sub-7, sub-6:30 win time for them on this map. That is, like you said, making a statement. A lot of momentum going to be in favor of them at going into this next map. We'll see just where they elect to head to play. Over to the map screen to see where the rest of this series will unfold. Now we know a team has no name has had the victories over Moosesports prior to this. Last weekend they went to the same results here and found themselves in the finals and have still claimed victory and looking to follow suit again this week. It's up to Moosesports to change the dynamic. Serpent Beach is where they seem that they think they could do it. And again, one of those more typical maps definitely won't be caught off guard, I think, by the draft and closing guard. I don't even know if they were caught off guard. Their draft looks so good on paper. If you think about, just think about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, you see a team get Fernando,
and Makiii and Drogos, and you're just like, wow, I mean, this is pretty much over at this point.
That's
like,
right.
And Androxus, why are we even playing the game here? And they get stomped in 6 minutes.
And well, you know, and it's just so much. It's so much
How much
about
has changed, man. It's crazy.
And that's what I love about the ever-evolving meta, you know. And again, I love the way Team Has No Name set that up. Moosesports take away the Evie and the Fernando now, but a Team Has No Name grabbed the Makiii. But harkening back to the last draft, they took the Evie first and took the Kinessa fourth. So they took the counter to the Kinessa early to see if Kinessa was going to get picked up to make sure they could reserve that spot as a flex for you know, their champion they really wanted on that map.
We're going to be picked up answering back. They're getting the Evie and the Fernando this time, and Jiraxis Maldamba will be the response from a Team Has No Name. Still no healer on the board for Moosesports. They're going to get the Cassie, however.
That's
Waters
big.
Likely to be on that one. We saw it's kind of weird for Waters to have the game he did on Cassie and then to put him on Ying.
That to me was, that's why I said there's so many things to talk about. Not only just, you know, some of the comfort picks, some of the decisions that were made, Leminate, bonkar being on champions they liked, but Waters having that MVP performance and then like putting him to the bench, just support style. They didn't even have WesTo on Makiii. WesTo was on Fernando. And I'm just saying, WesTo was fantastic on Makiii. I would just love to keep that synergy rolling forward. I think that plays a bigger part of it than a lot of people think.
Ying selected again. Hopefully we won't see a similar performance. Kinessa, though, as similar to what happened in the previous game, only it's Moosesports this time, selecting both Evie and now Kinessa at the end of the draft. Both looking strong on paper. This is tough to call at this point. After what I was calling it so heavily in favor of Moosesports last time to win that based on their draft alone, but I will do that no longer here. This time it will be Simsiloo on Makiii, Leminate on Buck, bonkar on Androxus, Smutny on Maldamba, and SYER going to be rounding it out as victor.
And with a Team Has No Name, Fernando looking like a G here. He's got a team of 4 beautiful ladies. Second on Makiii, Waters on Cassie, Makiii on Ying, WesTo, the lonely Spaniard, but he won't be lonely tonight. He's on Fernando, and sorsa will be on Evie. And as they get into this next fight, it's going to be all down to this real map, I think, to change the momentum, or if a Team Has No Name can assert themselves over Moosesports yet again. They've already done it last week, and this could just be the icing on the cake to really tell Moosesports with their play that they are better. But Waters is not taking that. A disengage is going to do a lot of work, and it's going to help secure Leminate. Not after he can take down Waters, though. The Kinessa misses a crucial charged up snipe onto the Maldamba, and that's not going to buy her the type of time she wanted. But it's now 3v2, and she finishes that one. Not the first shot, but the second is all he needed. And second cleans up Simsiloo on the Makiii, no longer on the Evie, and now he's guarding the edges with those long lines of sight. A Team Has No Name looking pretty good.
Capturing the point in total control right now. Moving north of 50. bonkar trying to get into the back line right now. They're trying to dive Waters. They know he is the key. They take down second as well. Leminate has a lot on his plate as a Buck. He's got a lot of juicy targets in the back line. He only gets second this time around. Leminate will go down to WesTo, however. bonkar trades out with Waters. A lot of big key picks have already happened in this fight. 51-51. Moosesports back in control of the point for the time being. A Team Has No Name flipping the script already. Killing spree going to be online. Makiii tucked in this corner right now, just trying to keep his healing going right now. Leminate poked dangerously low on Buck. Going to be able to heal that back up with recovery. However, no one taking a convincing win in this fight. The capture point is inching closer and closer to completion. Leminate finding one, bonkar finding second. Big picks going out for Moosesports right now. They look to take it back after being so close.
And the Team Has No Name struggling to find it. Simsiloo goes down. sorsa and Makiii answering back with a loud call, but Waters is also going to slay SYER as well. So despite all of that, it looks like Moosesports is on their way to victory here in the first objective, and it is so. Second, taking down bonkar and providing just some incredible sniping support and an incredible turnaround here in this game.
A lot is going to rest on Leminate's shoulders to be able to take out Waters to be able to take out Kinessa as well in the backline. It's going to be difficult, however, because Cassie is a character that is so good at just kiting around, especially when the target is big and easy to hit like a buck. The disengage in combination with all of the incitement rolling is going to be difficult, but Leminate is the guy to do. We've seen it done before here. Quoting, Kingpack had a very outstanding impact on his buck as well. We'll see if Leminate can match it. Doing well thus far, finding Makiii immediately in this fight. The healer goes down, finding another one. The frontliner falls as well.
And we've seen on Serpent Beach, Buck in exactly Kingpack on this map had a really good performance on Buck. And so it's not only maybe just the champion, but this map may seem to kind of help Buck in being able to take advantage of getting away around corners well, having a lot of ledges that he could jump over with his leg day and be able to kind of scale that other champions have a little bit of trouble following him around. There it is, a perfect example.
Wow, what a combo.
And that is Leminate, just curse of the commentator. That's blessing of the commentator right there, putting it all into action. Couldn't have asked for a better showcase of what I was describing there. And so Simsiloo will take down Makiii, and a minute remains on the clock with the push stalled here for Moosesports.
In the meantime, bonkar found Kinessa in the backline with that ultimate, dropped the ultimate with enough time, I think, to get it charged back up. So a great timing attack. A lot of times, you don't want to hold on to your ultimate the whole round, right? Because, you know, sometimes you'll fall into that trap like, oh, we gotta save him for the next point fight, but you don't want to hold him the whole round there. You want to use him to win fights out here. Look at this. There's still so much time for bonkar to get that charge back up. He's already sitting back at 41% here on that accursed arm.
And now they've got the Fernando moving forward, just going to work, pushing the payload. You know, it's just all the ladies leaving the man to do the heavy lifting here, and it seems like it's paying off for them. Makiii letting Simsiloo know he can still do damage even as a support. And now it looks like the line of sights from second aren't quite lining up as you would anticipate. The buck misses the ledge and spares the life of the sniper, but after all is said and done, the defense will be successful. The team has no name, and Moosesports will head into round 2 even.
Taking a look at some of the ultimate charge here. Headhunter just got popped for Moosesports. The items starting to come through as well. 4 Havens for Moosesports, 4 Havens for a team has no name. Big look here for me is going to be Simsiloo's Master Riding 2. He is going to be the one to watch. Blazing speed on out to the point. Current highest damage in the game goes to SYER on the victor. I feel like there's so much backline pressure from Leminate right now, but not as much. We're not talking so much about sorsa's Evie this time around, and SYER doesn't look like he is feeling the heat either as he's topping those damage charts.
Yeah, sorsa really a solid Evie, but just hasn't found the rhythm today. At least Waters now on the champion that he likes to play, and you see Makiii taking the hit to support, and I think this is where they'd rather see Waters not taking that back seat and now being able to affect the game to carry it for them. It pays off dividends right now, but Buck Wild is not something you want to fight against. The dodge roll, if he lands it here, will give him some bonus damage and will give him some lifesteal, keep him in this fight. The Ancient Rage is there, but he can dodge roll backwards, especially with Buck landing on, and he decides to do so. The blast shot will take away the healing, but Leminate will eliminate Waters after falling to Makii's now, and so it looks like sorsa is up to the task of trying to carry for his team, given the fact that Leminate will have to come back to base after being killed, and he picks the target, the Makiii, who no longer has the Ancient Rage available to be the source of damage, and he gets a nice blink off it. The cauterize is there and hits the long range, but second with the double kill will help clean things up. And sorsa, it's all up to this Buck versus Evie. Who's gonna get the better of it?
Ooh, almost falling off the map. Flank versus flank. B team versus A team. Evie coming out on top this time. Waters getting credit for that kill on the Leminate. So I guess that answers our question of where sorsa has been the whole time. He's playing defense in his backline now, using that mobility to outpace Buck as a flanker and just stay on top of him, keeping his backline alive. And it's working out a lot better for them this time around. Moosesports currently leading the point capture 60-42.
And you see the Kinessa on the point right now. So many people in the back line, and I love the aggressive zone coming out. And this just shows that Moosesports feel they don't have to give too much respect to a team as no name. And despite that, look at this nice transport. It's going to put her in potential line of sight to the Androxus, who doesn't see it, but Evie's going to finish things off. And that is going to be, again, a capture objective for Moosesports, who are taking it to a team has no name. A team with no name, just non-stop.
Great aggression, and it's not stopping there. Like you mentioned, sorsa continuing to keep the pressure on. He's able to escape the hook for the time being. Second, giving him a room to breathe, finding more and more shots here onto Androxus. Doesn't feed the reversal. Good move there. He's going to be forced to nether step away. Headhunter is still available. Minute and 59 remaining on the push. About 30% already completed. Illusory Rift going to come out from Moosesports to try and get that raid healing under control.
And that raid healing, it can be so valuable, but there's no legendary drops today. It's all about getting those kind of drops, like where your ice shot goes, and if you can land that AoE onto multiple targets and survive, and that's the kind of drop she needed, a drop into safety. And finally, the Evie, after applying that pressure and relieving it from the payload cart, stays alive and lives to fight another day. It's Waters now, and he's got the pressure from 2, and Leminate and bonkar will clean up 3 on their end and force this lonely Fernando back, awaiting the sweet arms and graces of his lovely teammates.
Minute 10 remaining on this push. 2-1 reads the score in favor currently of Moosesports. Looking to tie it up with a strong defense is a team has no name. Leminate finding a kill in the back line on to the healer. 50 seconds. We're just resetting right now, trying to wait for those respawns to come through. The Spaniard and his ladies are grouping up on the high ground, moving now around the corner. All is quiet on the front, however. Couple of ultimates still available. Ancient Rage, Buck Wild, Dread Serpent Barrage is nearly there as well. The respawns have come through for Moosesports, looking to make their conversion.
And they want it now. There's 30 seconds left, and this pretty much is do or die. They got to die quickly, or they got to make some kills, and it looks like Waters is the first to drop, but WesTo follows in kind onto bonkar. Leminate takes down sorsa, so no Evie, but if this Makiii can be eliminated, it could be huge. Makiii, though, will mean that no healing left for the side of Moosesports, and Fernando forced to retreat again,
nice
but not gonna be allowed to do it. The kill to eliminate the hook will go straight to the Fernando, and that will be the end of this attempted push. Both teams tied up again after round 2.
8 streak right now for Leminate, having a really great impact on this buck. Look at all those credits, 1,500 in the pockets
Somebody's
for
going
him.
shopping.
68,000 damage for sorsa. He had a huge round. He passed SYER, closing the gap entirely, and now pulled away. Played such a great round of defense for his backline, working so hard to keep second and Waters alive. Maldamba pocket healing that Makiii always. He's going to be pulling ahead of Ying a little bit. Her healing going to be more spread out amongst the other targets here, but is that going to be super effective? Not so much when you've got Leminate focusing down, when you've got Makiii hooking out an entire person. A lot of that burst healing, and just overall, I think when you get a double stacked Mending Spirits on top of a gourd, that is a lot of healing to try and burn through. Leminate right now looking to get into the backline, pops up Buck Wild, wants the kill on the second, he'll find it.
See you later, Buck Wild doubling the damage, and that damage is a lot indeed. bonkar with the accursed arm. So many ultimates used on the side of a team that's no name. They want this capture objective, and it's 36% in their favor. But now, with not much to burn except a Victor Barrage, they're going to have to do this all thanks to pure grit, skill, positioning, and mechanical prowess. They cannot rely on too many ultimates here, despite Makiii having his Ancient Rage to be able to extend this fight. Now, 93% on the point, 99%. This could be a team has no names
Clean.
chance, and they've taken it clean, 3-2, and they can now win the game with this final push.
Will it be so? Barrage still available here. SYER under no pressure, it feels like this entire round. sorsa doing such a great job playing defense, but he's leaving SYER uncontested here in the backline. Leminate is such a threat. That's what a superstar player will do for you. It will force the enemy team to have to adapt to your play. Leminate another kill on to Kinessa in the backline. bonkar trying to fight out with Waters right now. Waters has won this duel many a times before. He will take down Androxus. A minute 50 remaining on the push. Makiii, the healer, goes down as well.
Not able to hold herself by herself there against so much pressure, and Waters from the backline again, just hitting those pinpoint shots, knows exactly where to place him, trying to burn down the Makiii shield as fast as possible, and that will force the turtle down. He gets a hook onto sorsa, who is able to stay alive despite the pressure that's been provided. A wormhole back,
No
almost
cooldowns.
gets the kill, but I really do enjoy the way that she was able to extend her life on that play and extend the timer, because of course it's all about time now. That is the one thing on their side. 1 minute and 13 seconds for Moosesports to be able to tie this up and send it into a final round 4 to see if they can tie this set with a team has no name.
Simsiloo finding a kill on to Makiii right now, running into the walls. His waters currently, we'll see if they try and pause while they get that sorted out. Kills trading either way though right now. This could be big, and there it is. That's going to come out real quick. Taking a look at some of these ultimates that are available. We've got Headhunter, we've got Immortal, we've got Illusory Rift, a Cursed Arm, Buckwild, and Barrage. This is going to be a firework finish right now, and we know that a team has no name is going to try to close it out here, as they are up 3-2 currently. They have the chance to close out this game with this push.
And if it seems like the ultimates that are there can be very impactful, but if the Kinessa is able to get that Headhunter off, especially if the Victor is in his barrage state, which means that he's moving very slowly, and he's very it's very clear where he is. He sends Wi-Fi signals above his head, and you know how people flock to Wi-Fi nowadays. It's just like everybody's head turns. The elimination will be very easy for the Kinessa on that Victor, and then pretty much nullify that entire event.
It's funny that you mentioned Leminate. This is the exact side of the map and push and situation that Leminate was in with Kinessa that found himself as Nick's pick here. So we're looking at second with this Headhunter to make some big plays here coming down the stretch, but there was so much more on the table. We have the Accursed Arm to look out for. You mentioned how it's going to be difficult. You know, Kinessa could take out the Victor. Accursed Arm could come out and take out the Kinessa. So much could happen here. A lot of heavy counters in this fight potentially could come out. We are headed back into game. We'll have to see how it all unfolds. Looking at second. He's getting hooked out right now. This is not a good look for Moosesports.
No, and of course he had no transport or cooldown. What a play by Simsiloo to take out the Kinessa. He doesn't know if she had the ultimate, but here's the barrage, and it's free damage now. It forces the Immortal, but the Accursed Arm is also wasted on that. So if WesTo can stay alive somehow, it is going to be great for Moosesports, but he can't. And a team has no name with a clear advantage, taking second out and winning this game. Wow. That was just perfectly executed.
It didn't feel like they had their feet quite under them. Second, out of position, gets hooked, punished for it. 50,000 damage. He came out swinging with the Headhunter, trying to stabilize his team. They were put in a must-win situation here. WesTo, 62,000 damage, beating out Waters on the Cassie, interestingly enough there.
That is very interesting. Sorsa with 86,000, which is something you don't normally see. To me, that means Sorsa was focusing on Makiii a lot. He was playing great, but he's also hitting those large health pools as well. I would have liked to see actually him on to SYER a bit more. He kind of gave up a lot of those fights.
It was tough.
And despite doing a ton of damage, being effective, I think Vic, you got to just farm that Victor. Only died 4 times.
So here's the trickle down effect. This is how I feel it played out. So second and Waters were under a lot of pressure from Leminate and bonkar in the back line. And you have to keep them safe. If they die, a lot of your team fight damage just falls apart, because Evie can't carry a team fight by herself with her damage. So she's forced to then play defense because Leminate and bonkar are having great games on this Buck and Androxus. This immediately pulls her off of SYER, and SYER 4 deaths on Victor with an Evie on the enemy team. That just goes to show you that is that superstar effect here from Leminate and bonkar. You know, LeBron having to get double teamed, Kobe having to get triple teamed, and it's still not enough. It just creates so much space for his teammates to shine, and shine they did.
That's right. The role players came in and served better roles than any role player could have even tried. They were superstars here. And let's see if they continue to be superstars as we head into the 3rd and final potential map of this ending series this weekend. Ice Mines will be
Have we seen Ice Mines in every series today?
And we have definitely seen it.
What a time to be alive.
It is a great time to be alive. An exciting map. I know a lot of the viewership will be excited to see this one again. We know that some hot plays come here, and we know that the champions who shoot hot fire are very, very touted as excellent on this map. Fernando and Drogos being 2 of those. Let's see if they get picked up here.
Yes, yes. Moosesports going to have that first selection. What will it be? It will be the EV.
Okay.
Team has no name. Fernando's on the board. Drogo's still on the board. Like you mentioned, what will it be? Taking their time with this one. Makiii has been a big pick in every series today. Cassie as well. This This is big.
That's
a big pick for this series, Leminate and Waters.
I'm telling you, I like this because you just see the fact that a team has no name keeps up with the incredible, and Simsiloo was on that actually, bro. Simsiloo was on that last game and did well, and he just goes back to it. I love that. You know, sometimes it's not even about theory. At a certain point, you're like, I'm just feeling my Makiii play right now, and I'm hitting every hook. Put me back on Makiii, and it works. It is a great thing. I love it. And they do leave Fernando and Androxus on the table here.
Drogo's still available. I believe that would be a really good pick against Makiii and Ruckus. No Immortal available. They're going to grab the Ying. What will it be to round them out? Shaolin is going to be the choice there. 1 damage for the side of Moosesports. Drogo's still on the table, not selected at all for Ice Mines here. Shaolin and Victor picked in a situation like this is like, we need just more damage overall in our team fight. Evie and Androxus, great, a lot of damage, but they are flankers, so it's hard to rely on them for all of your damage.
I actually think that this is, in my opinion, this is going to be hard for a team has no name, but if we're looking at damage champions, man, I think Moosesports can take advantage of this Victor right now. That Shaolin, that Evie, I feel like if they even just combo a little bit, and Waters, we know how well he was playing Shaolin earlier on this map. Victor's going to be in trouble, man. 1 shot is going to put him out of combat. I like what I'm seeing. Moosesports taking it second, going as the Androxus. Waters on the Shaolin. Makiii will be on the Ying. Sorsa on that Evie. Ice Queen, and of course, WesTo will be on the Fernando.
It's so hard to call, but a team has no name. Currently up 2-0. SYER on Ruckus. Leminate on Cassie. This time, Makiii, Victor, and Maldamba going to be rounding out that composition here. No Dragon Punch is just so surprising to me, though, that they didn't pick it up against a 2-tank comp with no Fernando.
It's going to be interesting. They didn't see, and Makiii didn't see that it was imperative here. Sorsa blinks already, but she's in the front line. She's focusing the tanks. Not too impressed by that. I think she needs to get into those upper rafters there. The Victor still free firing, hasn't taken any damage, and now you see finally it's going in. They get the tanks out of the fight. That was their plan, and now Sorsa takes down Leminate. Waters is still alive, and he's looking for more, and it's forcing this Androxus second to go around the corner and help flank his teammates. The Fernando is alive, but Moosesports are looking stronger than ever as a 5-man unit here on Ice Mines. Simsiloo goes down as the Makiii despite feeling himself, and second slays bonkar, who I told you was going to have a little bit of trouble on this map with this lineup, and it looks to be the case. Great shielding by Fernando, but where'd it go, buddy? You left me out to dry. The reversal's going to keep him alive, and now, see you later, Ruckus. There's just no way you're getting out of that one.
Go ahead and pull up damage for me. I want to see how much Makiii has in this. 7,000. He's rivaling the Ruckus, the Evie, beat out only by Androxus and Maldamba. Ying is actually pretty good against a team has no names comp right now. She does good damage. Big Accursed Arm gets shut down by bonkar, but against these big, slow-moving targets where she can leverage her bonus damage every single shot, she's actually going to be doing some good damage against this composition.
I mean, unlike Maldamba, she doesn't, again, we talked about Maldamba having the highest, DPS per second as a support. We tested that a little bit. Ying's got pretty decent DPS, but the difference is Maldamba much less reliable from far away. Nice impale there, and a great switch into Planet. I love the lack of hesitation. That's how you got to do it as a Shaolin. But Ying, again, mentioning her for the final time here, just showcasing that her damage can be dealt safely. And through hit scan, rather than Maldamba's slow-moving, long-arcing projectiles, which are a lot harder to confirm that DPS unless you want to get into the danger zone.
Absolutely. Moosesports rolling out here on this push. Minute 40 seconds remaining for them.
I think Victor's dead here.
They are down, but not out in this series. Shell Shield's going to provide some peel. Just diving immediately, though. WesTo's going to get to the Victor. Planet's going to do a ton of damage to Makiii as well, but he's getting poked so very low and taken down by SYER's Waters.
I just don't see Victor in a good... Victor is not a good pick into a Shaolin, personally, in my opinion. I think Shaolin is such a superior kind of long-range damage dealer, and Victor's fall-off cannot compete with Shaolin from the range that they're both looking at each other, especially on these pushes. Now, he's going to have a huge advantage in terms of team fight ultimate, but how long is he going to stay alive is the question, and that's going to be up to Sorsa. He seems to be spending a lot of his time on Leminate right now, and despite Leminate being so effective on the buck, the Cassie has not been able to find a ton of success yet here in this game.
You make a great point. Leminate, or excuse me, Shaolin versus Victor. Just the nature of Victor having to be exposed to do all his damage, whereas Shaolin can just peek, take a couple of shots for Victor, but drop 1,000 on him.
Yeah.
And then go back and charge a shot. Just the nature of the way their mechanics work and firing is going to be so much heavier in favor of Shaolin. 30 seconds remaining on the push. This fight going in a team has no name's favor for the time being.
That's not where Ying wants to be. That's where Maldamba shines a little bit more. Might have been able to get a stun off there, change the momentum, but 4 going on to 1 is going to slay Makiii, and that will put Ying into the grave. 15 seconds left, and it is up to Moosesports to mount one final push if possible. They've gone quite the distance thus far, but they have not been able to do enough. And so despite the early advantage and I think the mental lead they may have gained here against a team that has no name on Ice Mines, they are not going to gain any significant ground here and go into round 2 all squared away.
Ancient Rage is available. Dread Serpent still available. We have Scout available. Hexafire, a lot of big, heavy-hitting teamfight ultimates for a team has no name. Leading the damage charts currently is WesTo, just showing how strong Fernando can be on this map. 5 Havens coming out from Moosesports, countering all of the damage from a team has no name. We're all tied up here on Ice Mines, 1-1. Late game, it's tough to call for both these comps. No one's too heavily in favor of shielding or healing or blast damage or Havens, so it's going to be tough down the stretch, though. I'm liking a team has no names chance. They've shown the momentum is in their favor over Moosesports.
And despite that, Nick, despite even lineups being better and despite Waters being the player that he seems to be, giving himself the fist pump in the air as he rides along a Shaolin, a team has no name has shown that they are ready to play and that they make these big plays when needed. It's going to be a hook, an Ancient Rage actually, and this is perfect for the Makiii. Is he going to get burned down? Not fast enough.
Almost,
Leminate
though.
is going to slay Waters, and sorsa will kill Simsiloo, but Smutney and bonkar will capitalize on that, and WesTo taking down Leminate will at least take away some of that immediate damage, but not with a team that has no name having Ruckus on the point. The zone will be tremendous at this moment. Maldamba safely pocket healing, and that's going to be an objective captured for a team that has no name.
Red Serpent still available. Didn't have to use it. Didn't have to use Hexafire either. These are all tools still in the toolbox for a team has no name to close out this push. That Star Slayer skin.
So cool.
Getting a little rambunctious here. Fernando WesTo showing how he's been able to get all of that damage taken care of. Here comes the emitter shield. It's burned through rather quickly though, and there's why Waters gets behind the Ruckus and dumps all of his planted into the Ruckus butt.
Such an impactful ability, whether it is hitting any champion, it can just do wonders, takes and multiplies off the record damage as well, and so that means that he could just do 4,800 base and timing that by 75, giving an extra 75% to each shot, and all the way up to potentially 225% with Record 3, the item being purchased for 1,800 credits. That would just be a fantastic amount of damage that would just mitigate Ruckus's shielding and whole game plan there. It doesn't look like bonkar's gonna run into the trap, but he might go into one himself there. sorsa luckily using Wormhole to blink himself out, and now he seems like he's been found out, though. The Makiii was ready for him. The long-range shots would have taken him down, and the blink in again. I love the aggressiveness. The Soar threw away as well, and the Star Slayer Ruckus looks like he might have to go back to the stars, but he's going to stay alive thanks to the emitter and thanks to the lack of wrecker on the Evie. That would have changed that dynamic completely.
Team has no name finding a big win here, but only a minute remains and a long way to go here, wrapping around all these mines. We're seeing bonkar moves out to zone, seeing just how long it's taking him. All the respawns have come through. He's already missed a couple, dropping damage onto the low ground. A team has no name can really only afford to wipe one more time there before they are going to have to give up this defense, and we will be tied up 2-2 though. Leminate combining with Simsiloo to find the pick up onto second here. This is looking good for a team has no name. They're getting the respawn staggered. They're getting the momentum. This is exactly what you need to close on Ice Mines.
Leminate doing what he does best, and that's slaying opponents on a Cassie. He's looking to find more, but you know what? This is all up to the Makiii right now. Can he land a huge hook and peel for his team? If he cannot, this could be a solid defense still, despite this being so close to the end. But if he can, can. It is going to mean everything for his opponents. The damage from WesTo is strong. The Makiii still alive, still getting healed up. The Fernando bounced back and forth, and Moosesports are trying, living by a prayer, hanging on by a thread, and all of a sudden it seems like that thread has grown, evolved, and turned into a successful defense thanks to Waters and the squad.
Great target prioritization as well. Just disregarding Simsiloo's Makiii for the time being, not even forcing the Ancient Rage to come out. Great stuff from Moosesports here. We're all tied up 2-2. Damage about even across the board here. Only the healers lacking behind. Victor struggling just slightly, ever so slightly. Only about, 10,000 in total damage off of the leader, who is currently Leminate on Cassie. So everyone's picks seem to be working out. The healers nearly there as well. Taking a look at some of these items, if we could, coming out here into this third round, is when we're going to start to see some of these late game items come out.
Talk about Havens.
The Haven, yeah, the Haven level 3s starting to make their way. The cauterized 3s as well on WesTo is going to be so dangerous because he's playing so aggressively. We're seeing how much damage he's getting done. That's going to be a lot of cauterize on the team has no name.
And he's going to get to that back line. He's going to get to that front line. He's going to get everywhere he needs to. A nice hook, though, and this could be a kill. The shield goes down immediately. And look at this plan and back away, a withdraw. They don't see where he's peeking out from. The Ruckus goes down. He gets one shot from distance onto the Cassie, and that's huge. Here it is, the Makiii. I know Simsiloo sees him. The Impale is there. The Ancient Rage bait is too good, and he has got him with that twice now. Simsiloo has just baited the Shaolin into thinking he can win a fight and popped into the Ancient Rage. Incredibly smart play. The Androxus, I don't think he knows how many of them were low at that moment, and the Maldaba Gourd will heal them up to just full, and that's a big win for a team as no name.
Finally a clean win in the team fight here. 45% for Moosesports, now climbing north of 50 for a team has no name. This could be dangerous if bonkar gets a good look here down the sightlines, and he will. Pumping damage into Moosesports right now. Doesn't have the sight on Shaolin just yet. Heat Haze has been popped. He's got the beat on him, though. 2 kills in favor. The Impale doesn't take him off the map, but it will stun him, and he will be cleaned up. A big win for Moosesports.
Oh, my God. Look at that. We talk about it, and all of a sudden, it seems the story will flip on its head, and that the victor will get the better of Shaolin, yet he turns around, hits him with an Impale, and then turns the tables of the fight. Makiii speeding like the fastest Turgle I've ever seen, but Makiii takes him down just as fast, and just like that, 99% on the capture. Maldaba looking to go down here for sure, thanks to the Evie pressure, but he stays alive despite what seemed like an eventuality, and now with the Ruckus down, the Makiii down as well, the objective has to be captured, and is by Moosesports.
They just trickled in there as a last ditch effort. A couple of ultimates gets charged off the back of that. See Sorsa's Ice Storm sitting at 82%. Heat Haze already back to 54%. Illusory Rift about to come up. Ice Storm is now charged. Ice Storm has already been charged by Sorsa. He's ready to drop that again. That could be a big closing tool. We're seeing the zone potential come out with Evie on this map, locking enemy teams into spawns, into corridors, all kinds of good stuff. Great shell shield, gonna immune most of that accursed arm.
I think bonkar might be playing the best possible version of Victor he could play, but he is still just being outplayed by the counters to him on Evie and Shaolin in this matchup. And whether they're direct counters or whether they just happen to do well against him, it doesn't really matter because they're forcing him on the back end and punishing him whenever he does not play absolutely perfectly. And the Ruckus as well, looking to get a lot of punishment, standing on the point, protected by the Makiii here, and it looks like there may be a quick pause coming out. And as we look at that game, Nick, we talk about going into the bonkar, the Victor pick, into the, obviously, the Shaolin, the Evie. It has not been that effective despite bonkar playing lights out. I mean, he's doing everything right. I just think that maybe this ceiling of the matchup for him is just maybe a little bit too high.
Yeah, the chips are stacked against Victor right now, but a lot of great team plays coming out from both squads here. We're seeing they have a chance to close. Moosesports have a chance to win their first game here on Ice Mines. We are 3-2 in favor of Moosesports, coming down on Moosesports' offensive push with the chance to close it out on this conversion. They have a lot of tools in the toolkit here. Sorsa's getting his ultimate charged a lot. We just talked about how it just got charged. He used it. It's already back at 40%.
That's right.
Again, he is doing a lot of work here on this Evie, and Ice Storm is just so effective on Ice Mines.
Well, it's interesting too because they've got the Evie that's being the main blaster focus. No other blaster is really in this game, and so she's going very much so unmitigated. Whereas on the other side of things, you talk about items a lot. The Havens are coming through in the late game tier. Every single player on the side of a team has no name is a direct damage dealer.
That's right, and the Haven 3 is starting to come online. We saw how much trouble that was giving Buck. That's going to shut down, taking, you know, Shaolin from 1,000 to 700 damage, and that's where bonkar is going to start to kind of excel when he is, you know, going to stay alive, going to be able to eat 3 shots instead of 2. He might be able to get away, and his positioning has been on point this game. He's staying alive for as long as he can, and he knows exactly when to go offensive. We saw him get around on the flank and have a long line of sight to all the respawns coming in, getting the dismounts he needed to. He did get impaled almost off the map.
That was
That would have been some hella style points there.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's just Waters being Waters.
Exactly. And Waters is making a name for himself here. Shaolin, one of those champions he's done extremely well on in these tournaments before. And you know, Shaolin, he's just such a fun guy. I mean, he's the newest champion for Paladins. Hi-Rez is a great ability. And you could saw Waters was, like, almost being tracked there by bonkar in his Hi-Rez, but he lost him for a second. I mean, that's when you grab, you know, it's one of those things that we won't see until more stealth champions are actually in the meta and in the game. But Leminate, it's actually comical how much that that just eliminates stealth as an option. It's a card in the game that allows you to see stealth characters from a farther distance, and I mean, it just makes Sky and Shaolin, they're 30 yards away, and they think you can't see them. You know, they go invisible and they're just like chilling, and then you just shoot them. And it's this amazing thing, and you could see without those cards really being in the meta now, and Haven and Blast Shields being so much better, Shaolin's Heat Haze is a really strong ability to throw people off.
And Leminate, you know, it's so cheap. We may have to do a little podcast item spotlight.
We might have
on this. That we tend to do that for some of the lesser known items that aren't currently in the meta, as there are only 2 stealth champions. Could you imagine a stealth like frontliner when you could actually build a whole stealth comp?
Is Drybear on? Striber on the Twitch.
I don't know. It'd be really hard countered there.
Stealth frontliner, guys.
Yeah.
We want it.
What if Grover could stealth?
With that being said, we're going to throw to a quick break.
We got to question our lives.
We got to question our lives, and you got to question yours as well. We'll be right back with the ending of that game. Don't go anywhere. Counting down to the wire. Moosesports trying to battle it back against a team that has no name.
Stealth Grover.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting back into game here and heading over to the final push. Moosesports trying to close it out, get themselves back into this fight, into this tournament here. The finals are now. Sorsa is doing everything he can to keep his team alive. Leminate is going down as well. SYER takes down Sorsa, but not for long. He stays alive. WesTo and Makiii get the kill. Simsiloo is going to finish off Makiii, but he's going down quite quickly, and now it's up to Fernando to finish it off. The take-v-take battle goes the way of Fernando, and Leminate finishes him off, though, so 50 seconds left will force a full wipe and a regroup on the side of Moosesports here.
Xafire available, Scout as well. Ancient Rage. It's going to be a big stabilizer here. If I'm Moosesports, I'm trying to get as many of these ultimates baited out, but unfortunately they spent so much to try confirm that. Immortal's down, Illusory Rift is down, Heat Haze is down, Accursed Arm was spent. If a team has no name can hold this defense without spending too many of their ultimates, they are going to be in a really, really good spot to close out this tournament.
Great Gord, great communication by the teammates there, poking out the Androxus. This could be big if they take down second. He's going to have to heal up, but I doubt that Simsiloo is going to try to give him any respite. No breathing room for him. A nice impale. The damage will come through. bonkar slays Sorsa despite not having the advantage in that matchup. He must have gotten the first look at her, and Smutny slays Waters and bonkar for the double kill to secure the defense successful, and only Evie will go into the final round potentially of this tournament for Moosesports with an ultimate.
They did exactly what they needed to do, holding that defense strong without spending a single ultimate. Barrage gonna be up in this fight as well, so they may as well have all 5 ready to roll. Their damage dealt Going to be led by Sorsa and Waters here on the Evie and the Shaolin. Leminate's Cassie is breathing down their neck. However, Fernando WesTo still staying in contention for top 5 damage dealer healing. Going to be about tied up as well, but the Cauterizes are here. The Haven 3s are here. But you can't have enough mitigation in the world to survive a Hexafire or an Ancient Rage or a Barrage.
That's right, and you're going to need to stick near that Ruckus as well. On the objective, we talk about Repulsor Field, and it's one of those important things you cannot forget, giving his teammates 50% damage reduction. And that is damage reduction. He's going to use it now along with the Emitter and throw the Hexafire out, so a mix of damage and defense is going to keep him and his teammates alive. The Ancient Rage is there, but Sorsa will slay SYER now, and Waters has a bit of open range here to find off the Cassie and figure out a way to get his team back into this one. 57% and a missed window opportunity to stay near the fight and get some higher ledge advantage for his team, but now he's got to get back in there, and this is a tough spot for him, Nick.
Waters just burned Planted as well as a reaction, so that will be down for this fight. A big team fight cooldown going to be used. Here's the Heat Haze, and the Barrage comes out to counter so much damage for WesTo to deal with bonkar with both kills. Leminate finds it as well. We're going to head into overtime, but it feels like just a formality as this point is all that's left to try and stabilize this is Ying. Can she make the play? No. She will fall. Young Ying on her own can't get it done. A team has no name finds the win. 3 games in a row, 2 weeks in a row.
Wow. And just showing that they are the top team to beat in Europe going into this very exciting final round coming up against the big boys next weekend, who have been waiting from the champion circuit to face off against their contenders. And what contenders they are. Both of these teams will be there, but they're going to have to go ahead and battle it out once again. A team has no name, just playing lights out for me. Sorsa, Waters, and the boys just could not put it together against Leminate, bonkar, and everyone else.
Definitely a great showing from both teams. Healers did well as well. Makiii almost breaking 50k damage there, keeping up with Simsiloo. We head over to the bracket to reconclude what has happened and transpired here in Europe this week.
And you see just there, a team has no name, not dropping a single game throughout this entire time, and that's fantastic to see. All of their games just being complete wipes and making sure that they know they've made a statement. And Moosesports as well, you know, dropping a game to Brutal Fisher, despite having the talent there, you could see that they just don't necessarily have that same consistency in finishing their matches.
Absolutely. So a team has no name with this win here. They have taken the big pot here, which makes the next 4 spots even closer in contention. Moosesports narrowly going to be beating out WASD Sports there by 20 points. So with 130, they find themselves in. WSD is going to be making it in with 110. Breakpoint. These are very narrow margins here. Man. So because we are taking 5 teams going into the finals week, a team has no name. Moosesports, WASD Sports, Breakpoint, and Asterix will all be in the finals by margins of 10 points for 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th. So a very close finish for Europe.
5th and 6th too. Wild Style just 10 points off the mark for being able to make it. I'm sure they're going to want to come back as well, showing that they're right there with the competition. Things just would have gone a little differently one of the weeks. They would have been in this tournament instead. But that's going to do it for today. It's been an exciting one. Europe has had their selections made, and now it's up to North America tomorrow on Sunday to be able to decide who will be coming out from the Evie's Winter Classic to face up against the champions awaiting in the final week. Before we head out, I want to thank you all for joining the broadcast. My name's been Rain Day, and this is Slick Nick, the ruler, Hi-Rez, pretty hair, and he's got a ruler himself. And we want to remind you that there's some free stuff we've got for you. If you want to link your Twitch account and your Hi-Rez account, you'll be able to get a free Ying Mirror weapon skin that is basically stylized off of Twitch, which is really cool. And of course, if you want to enter into the giveaway in YouTube, it's in the description of the live stream that you're watching. And in Twitch, you can type the word !giveaway, and that will actually bring up a link, which you can then follow. Thank you guys so much. And Nick, thanks for joining me today, man. It was
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
I can't wait to see you
I'll miss you.
the day after that, too.
I'll miss you. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.